Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an in-depth analysis of Zenzenzo's Medea, The River Runs Backwards. Zenzenzo's variational performance of Euripides' Medea is a remarkable, though at times questionable, retake on the ancient Greek play. The adaptation, directed by Drew Kindren, provides an interesting and partially modernised take on the original performance, introducing great symbolism and modern ideals to an ancient text, stemming from the very beginnings of theatre itself. Through the creativity of the performance's director and the skill and determination of the team involved, Zenzenzo Theatre Company utilised Anne Bogart's viewpoints of physical theatre to facilitate dramatic action and communicate a theme of manipulation, whilst also manipulating tensions and symbolism. So the use of space within the performance is pretty interesting. The topography and the architecture were kind of cool, because... I can help.
Why are you in my house?
Stop complaining, strange people show up inside of your house all the time. Hello, I am your logical reasoning side. I help you to extract conclusions and I am here to help. Alright, fine, how are the viewpoints used? Every character on stage moved with purpose, the choreography was very well planned. The chorus, aka the women of Corinth, bunched to form focal points to divert attention to or from Medea, depending on her needs at the time. In fact, their actions are almost exactly what Medea, played by Lauren Jackson, would have wanted them to be at every time they moved or spoke. It's actually a bit suspicious. Agreed, it looks like they were brainwashed to serve Medea's will. They play out her desires a little too accurately for people who aren't affiliated with her. The relationship tension is interesting because they function both as Medea and as separate from her. They bend to her will, but they also voice her doubts and help her to justify logical conclusions. They're effectively her version of me to you. You manipulate me to convince yourself of things you know aren't right all the time. Like that time that you— examples are needed. The only thing that messed it up was a few chorus members that didn't have the timing quite right in some of the actions. It ruined the illusion a bit, but nothing a little more practice couldn't have fixed. The architecture of the performance is simple and minimalistic. It consisted mostly of one Greek-style pillar which added a traditional feel to an otherwise modernised performance. It also provided a focal point for some topographical executions and helped to immerse the actors in the story by making it realistic. Okay, cool, so why is there a magic glowing— I think that's a piano at the back. I mean, it's not really used for anything, it kind of just exists. Symbolism? Symbolism, mother! You're aware this is being graded, correct? Sorry. However, there was some symbolism which I believe was unintentional and it really ruined the mood. Jason's accent, right? Yes, English is a very widespread language with different dialects. Prepare for some bad impersonations which may seem borderline racist. Oh boy. British accents are very knowledgeable, or if you do them right— Tom Hiddleston. Yes. Australian is implicitly a bit insane and American is the neutral accent because of the media we see regularly. The problem is that while most of the cast members were Australian, Eric Berryman, who plays Jason, was American, which makes us subconsciously believe him to be the normal one in a sea of crazy people. Hey, you should become an artist! They make up garbage about meanings too! Symbolism is not garbage and it relates to physical theatre. Whilst it's true that actions do speak louder than words, and moves cannot be substituted by speech in physical theatre, the human mind is naturally drawn to the most obvious conclusion available and an accidentally incorrect one is created in this performance. Also, Anne Bogart herself said that the viewpoints she used aren't the only ones, just the ones that she found useful. She, along with Tina Landau, later added a series of vocal viewpoints which directly relate to this! Okay then, body viewpoints. What did the director do with them? They manipulated the shapes and gestures of the bodies of the characters, and it was executed incredibly well. For example, the scene of Glauce's death. This is the scene in which manipulation is perhaps the most obvious, though it's not exactly clear by who. The actions of the chorus, the shapes they make, the contortions of their bodies, mirror Glauce. So Glauce is manipulating the chorus. Well, it looks like it, but look at the way Glauce talks to Jason in this scene. Look at the actions she makes. She thinks she's a special snowflake. Well, why would a special snowflake want more people like her? She doesn't. It's Medea. She's controlling the chorus. She's mocking Glauce. That's exactly what I think. They copy Glauce's death actions through kinesthetic response, which would be difficult for them to pick up if they were acting of their own accord. Their faces are all contorted into the same expression of pain. One movement triggers another. Ideally, one would need an additional set of eyes in the audience to give them this timing. Obviously, it was a choreographer during rehearsals, but who within the context of the performance? I believe it was Medea, controlling them and making them do it. Imitating someone dying instead of helping them is effectively the highest form of screw you there is. It's not of their own will. Medea not only kills Glauce, she does it while she strips away the thing that made her special to Jason, her differences from everyone else. Medea mocked her the whole time she died. It's an interesting take on the original. I mean, didn't the handmaidens try to save her in that one? They absolutely did. Now they're acting as both an extension of her and Medea instead. They further convey Glauce's pain, whilst her somewhat gruesome death is narrated by her father. They also carry out Medea's will by humiliating Glauce as she dies. Cool. It is, isn't it? However, there is one thing I detest. Okay? The person who did the character's makeup. I mean, look at the eyes! It looks like they let a 3-year-old into a makeup kit. I can explain. Who the hell are you? I'm the emotional side. I often fall into week-long binges of listening to Fall Out Boy and crying as I search for hope in my blackened soul. Ah yes, you. I know why they did it. Disney. No, Disney is pure. No Disney character wears that much eye makeup. I mean, they're all wearing more than you are.
Bucky Barnes, Ronan the Accuser, Caecilius.
Marvel bad guys are not Disney princesses.
Marvel Studios is owned by Disney. Point is, all of these people were being manipulated, just like we are, lost in a never-ending void.
On topic, please.
All were Dark Minions. Ronan of Thanos, Caecilius of Dormammu, Bucky of Hydra. Medea was manipulated by the god Eros and her husband, as shown throughout the performance. And the chorus were manipulated by Medea as well.
Well then riddle me this. Why did the muses have darker eyes than Medea?
Eyes are the window to the soul. That's why mine are black, because my soul is also black. The chorus is so dark because they, like me, are soulless, just like Ronan and Caecilius. We're not meant to view them as people. Medea, like Bucky, has lighter eyes because she is a troubled good guy who has lost her way. She comes across as bad, but she has the best of intentions.
So you think they use Disney as a reference? I'll admit, it makes sense. And it adapts the ancient story to a modern audience by acquainting it with things they know. Nice way to do it. Alright, we're almost done here. Last one, time viewpoints. Cleverly utilised, you can see when Medea kills her children.
Killing children is a dream of mine.
You know this is getting graded, right?
Ugh.
Medea's walk is what really takes the cake. It manipulates tempo and duration. It's slow and it lets you sense her inner conflict, the tension of relationship between her and the invisible children, and the tension of task over what she's about to do.
She drags out each step. It's the one scene with no manipulation implied. Eros is out of the picture. Jason is nowhere to be seen. Even the chorus is gone. She's finally free and she wants to keep it that way, so she breaks the one tie that holds her to Jason.
She slowly brings her hands together. She's questioning. Then bang! The powder flies. Everything is silent. She's free forever.
The silence makes a void of realization. The red spotlight casts a dark mood. Combined, they seem to slow time. And also mirror my soul, which
The
is...
red spotlight, yes, on the white powder. It's like Medea's drape house. It changes colour based on Medea's emotions. The drape house is red when Medea feels murderous, it's blue when she feels blue, and it's pink when she's in love. The blood is red when it's just blood, but it becomes white when Jason becomes involved.
It's innocent. Pure. It's the way Jason sees it.
She takes the bodies home with difficulty. She drags them, manipulating the duration of each step. She's sorry, but she knows it had to be done. She's free at last, nothing holds her back. Obviously there's a few things that could have been corrected, but Zenzenzo's Medea, The River Runs Backwards, did ultimately carry the idea of manipulation in a very interesting and effective way.
Through the utilization of the physical theatre viewpoints, the performance became an instance of physical theatre that carried deep meaning and inspired powerful emotions in its audience.
Although the performance could have been vastly improved by tweaking some minor details, it still proved itself to be true to Euripides' original performance whilst targeting a very different demographic with very different ideals and perceptions of the world. Through its manipulation of the viewpoints of physical theatre, its use of symbolism, and the utilisation of dramatic tensions, Drita Kentrin and Zenzenzo created a performance that Euripides himself could have taken pride in. Yay!
Ugh.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm a Scandinavian Australian living in Australia. Why do I have a Briton and American living in my head? Well, remember how we had that talk about the accents?
You, as an Australian crazy, need a neutral and an intelligent personality to cancel you out and make you tolerable.
Also because your Scandinavian accent is a wee bit racist.
Ah!
Ah!